Coach Bill. We're going to go over some games from the Team 45-45 League. I thank you all for being here. I'm trying to help your play. Let's have a look what happens. Okay, this is okay. It's kind of like the O'Kelly Sicilian. Becomes closed. I don't think White's going to play for D4, after knight f3. But he might. We'll see what happens. Okay, so White decides that if Black's going to take a tempo to put this here, he's going to take a tempo to put this here to stop b5. Black's okay with this. He can play e6 and queen c7, and his queen will be safe from an intrusion by the enemy knight. Let's see what happens. Maybe he should delay this. White might kick it. I don't know. Let's see. That's what happens. Let me get rid of that console. I don't want that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to adjust this. There we go. So, I don't know. Let's see. Do we want to go here? Why not? Let's see. Let's do that. Knight's this rook is misplaced. Now Black needs to evict this knight. If queen here, we can just come back. It's fascinating. It just seems like a very peculiar position. I'm not sure if queen c7 is accurate. Now, he does have the option to come here. Now this becomes a threat with the idea of driving the knight away and stealing this. I don't know, let's see. Now rook here. Now the objective is to bring the knight here, but not just yet. Let's play here. I don't know, this looks good for White. Let's see what happens. He plays d3. Yeah, no, Black, you should play e6 first, then put the queen on c7. Okay, now this move doesn't help your game at all. I call this the internet defense, invented by tens of thousands of players across the globe every month, every week, every year. This move, it doesn't help you one bit. I think it's designed to keep bishops and knights out of these squares, because bishops pin knights and knights deliver forks. Okay? But all this does is it weakens your position, makes your g6 square weak. It doesn't help you get the rest of your pieces out. And White's not even trying to go to g5. There's no point in White going to g5. His bishop can't get there, and what good does a knight do there? So, a good move here would just be, let's just develop. Okay? You could play this. Let's back that up. You could play bishop here. Okay? But, don't make these rook pawn moves. They're not good. Okay, now you bring it out. Now, here's a tempo lost. I don't quite understand this. You are threatening to take this, but, you could get that queen in trouble in a hurry. Now, case in point, let me just burn him. Well, I guess you're threatening a discovery check, if that's really a threat. Let's just burn this. And if takes, where are you going to put your queen? I think your queen gets trapped here. What am I missing? Okay, so you're not really threatening to take that B pawn. Let's see what happens. Well, he plays here right away. So White, you could have come up with a different move. Although this would be a check. But this is routine, and Black has spent a tempo doing this, and this is still not a threat. So, these are the guys that need to come in the game. 10 moves from now, they're going to be a move behind right when you need them. Okay? We don't have to calculate long variations or anything. We just need to mobilize our forces, as someone would say, with a plan. Okay, let's see. Looks like I have lag. I clicked a move and nothing happened. Let's try it again. Okay, it's going to play 2 moves. I have to wait for it to catch up. Okay, come on. I wonder if I'm going to hear that uh-oh sound when ICC goes offline. Somehow the game's over. I don't think the game's over. Oh, I know what's wrong. It's me. Okay. So he played rook here. And, black wasn't threatening this pawn. So here's a case in point. Okay, look at the clock. 50-30, 50-26. You went down you took 49 seconds on this move. And you were already 2.5 minutes ahead on the clock. So, you could have spent 2.5 minutes on this position and discovered probably that this is not good. And not wasted this move. See, this doesn't help you. This is safe and sound. Get your king off the diagonal. There's going to be no discovered check. I don't know. I don't think black has time for this. We can do lots of nice things here. Let's see. I mean, we can always kick it. Hey, this is too risky.
Check.
Okay. I don't think black has enough here. Oh wait, he has this. Oh, this is interesting. You don't. Now the threat is to take this and then check here. Very interesting. Some crazy stuff here, huh? What amazing ways you can uncover. Well, white doesn't have to take this. Let's hold on h3. That's an interesting move here. Okay. Let's just do a little redeployment. This threatens the knight. This looks adequate. And I don't think there's enough with this pawn sacrifice, although c2 gets unprotected. Let's see. Now can you do this? No, c2 is covered. So once again, black drops his queen. Okay. So I don't think knight g4 helps. Okay.
Check.
Now we can just ignore it and put the king in the corner. Let me see. Let's come up with another idea. Let's create a threat here. Let's try this just for the fun of it. Okay, it does have a threat. Now, if white plays bishop e1, black gets this little move in. Okay. So how's white going to deal with this threat? I guess he could play queen here. And then we have some of these tricks here with this move. Here's this again.
Check.
See, the king has no move. And then this threatens a mate in 1. White's in a bit of trouble here. King has no move. How do you guard the knight? This is just going to drop stuff. We come here and look at that.
Check.
And mate next turn. Amazing, huh?
Checkmate.
Okay. So knight g4 was the interesting move. I guess is there next turn. Yeah, there it comes. Okay. So, but this gives white some different defenses. The queen now has access to this square. So you didn't have it when the bishop was back here. So let's compare that. Let me see 1 second. Okay, let's back that up. Okay, knight g4. No, we don't have g3. Let's see what does white do about that? I mean, I hate to play d4, but maybe we can get away with that. Let's see. Takes. Now we're on that. See, problem here. See, black just pitched a knight. So maybe white has d4. Make him find it. So, you know, it only took 45 seconds on this move. I talk on these videos about taking your time. You have nearly 2 minutes of move average. You know, if you're not sure, sit for 5 minutes and think carefully. Get yourself into the game. Okay, so, you know, black, what are you doing? You say, look here. I mean, you're not going to win the game with your 2 knights that you brought out. You know, you're going to win the game if you activate these guys back here. Let's take care of them. Then we can consider jumping into these squares, okay? See, you know, is there something wrong with these pieces? You know, let's play bishop e7 and just castle. And, you know, you've lost a tempo with this pawn. It's moved twice. I guess you have to protect your knight. Okay, so I apologize for that. Let's see. The knight is loose. Okay, but let's see. Let's try this move maybe. You know, this gives your bishop a little more mobility. I mean, white can cut it down, but then later you're going to have this break once you take care of business here. Okay. If white takes, you know, your knight has, well, you can take with the pawn here. Now suddenly this bishop is sprung to life. This bishop is sprung to life. You know, you've got a decent looking game here. But still, you know, these guys, you know, you got to think about them. You can't just let them sit there. Now, you don't have to move your knight. We've covered that already. Very good. Good move. Now maybe we're going to try to penetrate this position somehow, some way. Okay, a little more protection here. So, you know, white's pieces have been going backwards too. So, you know, black, if you'll just play bishop d7 and, you know, you're looking pretty good. Okay, well, let's talk about this idea. We want to penetrate this position, but look, white has a lot of coverage here on f2. White might play knight f3. Well, you know, you could bring this in here. That's interesting how you're going to take here. Okay, what about this move? Okay, you come in. You still can't take this. White's certainly tied up here. Let's see, how would I get out of this if I had white here? What would I do? I don't know. You know, black's got these really interesting minor pieces, but they're just kind of camped there. You know, white can't take the knight because of the discovered check. And I don't see a way to challenge the, well, maybe we have a way to challenge the bishop. Let's go here. Okay, now, Let's see. What happens if you trade? Let's take with the queen. Keep this a bad pawn. You get that. So we can't come back. We're unprotected in this. This is a very unclear position. Okay. Now, this is awful dangerous for white. With that open H file and the exposed white king. Now, white's got to come up with a good move here. Let's see. And here, you know, I mean, this thing surprised me. 47:18 on the clock. And it goes up to 46 seconds. So his clock went up 28 seconds. White spent 17 seconds on this move. I mean, this is just asking for trouble. I mean, there's 3 different queen checks. Let's see.
Check.
Now, don't go back. You get in trouble, right?
Checkmate.
So you gotta interpose here. Okay. Now the black queen is loose. This might have been a reason why I put the queen on c5. Okay. See, the queen on c5
Check.
is protected if white defends this way. You know, this queen is pinned. The defensive power of a pinned piece is purely imaginary. You know, you could play this move. You know, he can't take it. It's illegal. Now, oh, there's another idea here too. So white probably needs to trade queens. Watch this. Let's just run the queen over here. Okay, now definitely have some pressure down here on h1. Let's see. White to play. But you've given up a piece for this line. Let's see. Knight f2. Let's see. Let's take it.
Check.
Now don't take with the queen or the rook. You get mated. You have to take with the king. White's escaping here. Or is he?
Check.
Let's see. You can take either way, queen or king. Let's take with the queen. Yeah, white's refuted this. Let's go back. So, you know, you've given up a piece here to do this. So you back this up.
Check.
But now on queen e3, your queen's loose. So, you know, I think you're in trouble anyway. So, you know, now the queen's worked her way back. Now she's gone to c7, to b6, to b4, back to b6, and to c7. See, this is still at home. Now white can just clog that H-file shut with this. Ooh. Why is he doing that? That seems... Okay, look, where does that knight go? I guess the idea is to win the pawn on G3. Yeah, looks like you're going to get away with it. Let's try to bring the queen over to help. Black doesn't have enough here. Now we have this check again. That might actually be a very strong check.
Check.
Okay. Oh my goodness. White's in trouble here. Let's see. If the queen goes here, it gets pinned. I guess he has rook here. Okay. Now do we want to play bishop e3? One problem with bishop e3 is that if black wins back the exchange, he's still down 2 knights for the rook. Let's see. One idea. Let's see if he plays bishop e3. Okay, it's a natural move to make, but one idea is to try to give this check down here and deflect the king away from this rook. But you see, one thing that's hurting black here, I was earlier talking about getting this bishop developed. If black had developed that bishop and castled, black's got really, really strong attacking chances here. Now, this rook is pinned. Let's just leave it pinned. Let's see what happens. So there's no need to take this. The pin is on. Okay. Let's see. How can we improve this? You just need bishop d7 and castles in. Very good. And castle. Perfect. Good job. Okay, but still, looking at the time, I mean, this is 45-45. White has more time in his clock than when he started, and so does black. Okay, move 20, you should both have about 23, 24 minutes left. So, if you took your time, maybe you can find a plan here. Now, that rook is a goner. Okay, it's gonna be traded eventually. But I don't know how black gets more stuff in the game. The only thing I can think of is just try to double rooks. And meanwhile, it's white's turn. Okay, so now the plan is to go here and win the bishop. And that's probably what he's going to do. See? So, it did take over 3 minutes on the move. And I tell students, my students, that if you take more time than you're allotted, than you should average, and you blunder, it's okay, because at least you had a chance to find the better move. But I'm not sure what the better move is here. But this example, why maybe the queen belonged on c5.
Check.
And now you have to take. And now, don't trade queens. And that hurts. That hurts a lot. This check is ultra serious. So, you got to swing this over here now. Okay, now that does not, that's just going to drop the queen.
Check.
Knight b6 check, and you have to take it. Okay, it's not moving. Maybe game's over. Let's see. Yeah, black resigns. So it's good idea to sack that knight. I saw it coming for several moves. Let's go back. Let's just do a quick run through. I think, like I say, exchange the e6 and queen c7 moves. Bring the pawns up first, then put your queen there. So, you lost the tempo here, because that pawn went up to h5 in a few moves.
Check.
And then this wasn't necessary, as I showed. But here, this here directly was much better. And white has a little difficulty meeting that, as I showed. But see, now we got this queen can come to the square. And some of these, it turned out this maneuver never really changed much about the position, although white would have kept that bishop on the board. This is a time when you wish you would have had this and this in. Okay, so now I like this idea, but there's the deflection idea. This queen is on this powerful diagonal, Maybe this is the time to take this. Well, you never did take that. It got taken here. Uh, what's white going to do? We don't know. Let's stick with the queen. Now we don't have this, but we do have this. Now he can't take, or could he? Let's see. It gets tricky. Let's see. Let's have fun. Let's take this. Now if takes, this check is embarrassing for white. Okay, you gotta bring the queen over and lose it for a pawn. That's no fun. So white still can't take this knight, and he does have this square covered. Uh, and if knight here, he can just hop in here. It's going to be hard for white to untangle this position. So how did I first critical of this queen b6, but it seemed to be a decent move. But the final position. Oops, let's go back. See the final position.
Check.
Both sides. White has more time on his clock than when he started. Black almost. So you got to take your time. You just might find a better move if you took your time here. Okay. Well, thanks, and I'll stop this.